CastleMania.
Welcome back to the castle, and today we're talking about Stargate, the new series, what's going on with it, and maybe more specifically, what's not going on with it. So, if you're just hearing the news, the new series from Amazon MGM is not moving forward. The series that was going to be led by Martin Gero, who came into the SG1 writer's room a little later in the series and was prominently part of the Atlantis and Universe runs. His vision for this was rejected ultimately by Amazon. And the reason they cited was that they felt the direction he was taking was going to bring the existing fan base in, but not a new fan base, and not grow it enough. So, what does this mean for us? This is not the end. We've seen this before. If you've been watching the channel, we just did the Masters of the Universe premiere and follow up interviews. Well, that movie was canceled, uncanceled, and canceled again more times than anyone can count. The truth is the property has value. Amazon knows this. That's why when they bought MGM back in 2022, one of the first things they mentioned was getting something going with Stargate again. What this tells me is this is more of a recalibration, that they're putting the pin in what felt like was a rolling, production, and they're going back to the basics and kind of deciding, well, how can we open up this story so that new fans can come in without having to have 10 plus years of knowledge about the franchise before they show up. And that's fair. I mean, I don't want to stray too far away from what made the stories successful and why there is such a large fan base in the first place. But if you're wanting to take a step back and say, hey, you know what? It's been a long time since this series started, something like 1996, if I have that correct. That's a fair reason to pause and say, you know what, I think we're assuming a little much going into this. For me, and knowing that Martin Gero is still on contract with Amazon, and is upsetting as it may be for us that felt like, hey, you left us with a cliffhanger at the end of Universe and Atlantis. We were looking forward to sort of picking up where we left off. That's fair too. The trick for the writers here and for the producers is going to be threading that needle, bringing fans back who have been waiting and bringing fans in who are new. And that's a tough needle to thread. The executive producers on this one included Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich, which was an interesting inclusion because they obviously brought us that first movie with James Spader and Kurt Russell. And it's public knowledge that they had a different vision for how the follow-up stories were going to go. And I think it's either one or both of them had said they'd never even watched SG1. The original vision for Stargate was a trilogy that never happened. Instead, we went direct to TV with Showtime for the pilot episode of SG1, and then eventually over to Sci-Fi for the full run. And, having those guys brought back in is the right thing to do in some ways. I know that Brad Wright and Joseph Malozzi, who chief creatives behind everything it is we love about Stargate, were consulting producers as well. And that is most certainly the right thing to do. I think a lot of us were just interested to see where this was going to go. And a lot of us have sort of speculated where things might go in Universe, which was really picking up steam and had found its footing and was hitting its stride. We wanted to see what happened, right? We wanted to see what happened when Atlantis made its way home and where a new potential threat might be. Is it going to only be the Wraith? Is that going to kick up something along the way? Are they going to bring a new threat? What about those automated attack drones that were in space with the universe? Who put them there? Me personally, I always believed that it was our future selves that were trying to prevent us from finding what it was that was out there. Whatever the case is, we want to find out. And I believe that we will. This is not a end to Stargate. This is just a pause, reposition. Let's get this right. Go. So with that, I am looking at this news with a hopeful viewpoint as to the studio's just really wanting this to be as best as it can be. So until next time, we'll see you at the castle.